is Mayowa-Emmanuel, and you are welcome to the second part of Feeling Forward for the month of May. I hope you listened to the first part of this Feeling Forward. If you did not listen to it, I want to advise you to please go back and listen to it, because I started out by talking about feeling forward and all of that. I sort of gave what you can do when you don't know what to do. I give some points in that. And this second part is just me talking about the other things that you need to do in you feeling forward, right? And I said it. I said feeling forward is not the end of life, and it does not define you. It is not who you are. Sorry, failure rather does not define you. It is not who you are, right? And that is why you have to feel forward. Feeling forward, it is you coming out of that mess, right? And seeing the beauty of it. Now I'm going to continue the conversation that we started out, and I'd given some points. I remember I said that you should take a rest if you need to, and you need to first sit down and find out what exactly is wrong. Now the next thing I want to talk about is learn while waiting. In you failing forward, right? Another thing that you need to do is for you to learn while you are waiting. Learn while you are waiting. Build yourself while you are waiting. Let your end goal drive you, not the activities. What do you have in mind? When you are waiting, right? Because when you fail, right, and you want to fail forward, you already made up your mind that, okay, this has happened to me, but I want to change the trajectory. I want to bet something. There's a part of you sitting down, right? Now, there's not the part of you just saying that, okay, in this period where I'm trying to figure out what next I'm supposed to do, I'm just going to make sure that I learn, right? Make sure that you learn. So in your waiting season, in you trying to figure out what to do next, learn. Don't leave yourself to chances. Don't leave yourself to just be like, okay, what will be will be. It does not happen that way. What will be is the fact that you will not move forward, and you end up being the person you have been. So the activities that you do does not define you. It is the person you have been called to be. If you keep your eyes on the activities, you will eventually lose the goal. So that's why you must separate yourself from whatsoever thing and keep learning. Keep building that capacity. Keep becoming, right? So in your waiting for you to fail forward, in your waiting for you to achieve that which has happened to you and nothing is coming out, is that you should give yourself to learn. Another thing I want to talk about is that take the step that you need to take, right? You have understanding of who you are, you have rested, and you have learned. So the next thing is take the next step. Remember, when we started out, we said have an understanding of who you are. First start from there. You have failed, right? First have an understanding of who you are. Then take a rest. There's no crime in you resting. There's no crime in you just going back and just be like, okay, I want to just really see what has happened and what is going on, right? And then we said that you should learn. And the next thing is that now take a step. What do you need to do? What do you need to do? So I remember I paused my podcast in, that was 2024, right? I think the last podcast I did, excuse me, was in the month of May. I paused my podcast because there was just a lot going on here and there. It was just really a lot, right? And then I could just sense God calling me into that rest. That, okay, let's take a pause, right? Let's take a pause. And I did. And then when it was not time, I had my wedding and all of that. After everything, I knew it was not time for me to take a step. So in that process where I was waiting, I was learning. I took a rest, right? I took a rest, and then I learned. I gave myself to learn. I was not just said that, okay, maybe I'm not doing podcast again, let me just continue my life. No, I did not do that. I gave myself to learn. And when it was time, I took the right step. So take the right step. Take the next step. What do you need to do now? Everything has happened. You have failed. Things has gone haywire. It's fine. You have learned your lesson and all of that. Now take the next step. Where are we going to next? What are we doing next? What do we need to shift to? What do we need to adjust? Right? So take the next step, because it is in your taking the next step that you get the desired result. If you don't take the next step, you definitely remain there. And the last thing I want to share with us is that put yourself in the right community. You see, the relationship you have has a way of affecting who you become or who you are becoming. Put yourself in the right community. Relationship is an aspect of your life that you should not even neglect. You should not neglect. What are the people that you have on that top level? What are the people that you have in that middle level? And what are the people that you have downward? They have a way of contributing to who you are becoming. So put yourself in the right community. Learn from everyone, right, that is in that cabal of your relationship. Relate with them. Connect with people. Engage with people, right? If you have to take a course, take a course. But just make sure that you are infused in the right community. Just make sure that you have put yourself in the right place that gives you the access for you to fail forward. Because if you stay in the community or in the society of people that don't see the need to become, of people that don't see the need to grow beyond the level that they are, you will not actually fail forward. So even when you want to stand up, they'll be like, maybe you have been trying, you have done this, you have done that. What else are you still doing again? So I'm going to share a book with you guys that I want you guys to sort of read, Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. And I remember one of the story from that book. That book would actually inspire you, especially if you have failed over and over and over again and nothing is happening. So I remember one of the people that failed. I remember the story of one woman. She had failed and it was not just working, and she has failed over and over again. And the people around her, right, some persons were not seeing it. Some persons were saying, what are you still going for? Just end this. So what are you still going for? So you see, if she was not having another set of people that were going to encourage her, she would have just remained with that negative voice or negative community, negative society that kept telling her that no need to move forward. Just stay here, right? So put yourself in the right community. If you are in a community of people that they're always pulling you down, they're always telling you that nothing can come out, they're always just putting you in a path where you are not seeing reason why you should move forward with your life, it's actually something that you should just take an excuse from that community, because they are not going to help your life. So as we wrap up this section of failing forward, right, I just want to ask you some few questions. What has been holding you back? You have failed, right? But then what has been holding you back? I want you to sincerely sit down and think on it. What has been holding you back? You have failed. But what has been holding you back from failing forward? What has been holding you back from stepping into that landmark that you can see? What exactly has been holding you back? And what step are you willing to take so that nothing can hold you back again? So I heard the story of the owner of 7-Up. I don't know if some of you have heard it. I just heard the story just here. So I heard that the man tried 6 times and he failed. He tried 6 times and he failed. And the 7th time that he tried, he got it. And that is why we now have 7 up. So he did it 7 times. And he did it the 7th point, it was now up. And that's why we now have 7 up. So what is your own? What name are you going to give your own self? You have failed 10 times. You have failed billions of times, right? But what name are you going to give yourself? I know, funny how every failure that you experience, everything that is happening in your life that you really are not okay with, they're actually adding up to something. They're adding up to who you are becoming. They are adding up to who you can become. It's actually doing something for you. And that's why when you are feeling right, when things are not going well, don't dwell on only the negative parts. Pick up the lesson from it. Don't dwell on only the negative part. There's a lesson in it. So try to pick up that lesson that is in that season of you just confused, of you just things not working out. Try to pick up the lesson, because it is in picking up the lesson that you actually get the right thing. So don't just go through the season and nothing is happening. If that owner of 7 Up, if he had not picked some lesson in the 6 times that he has tried, perhaps the 7th time he wouldn't have gotten anything. But he kept going and he got to the 7th time. What I want to leave with you, right, is that you might have failed. But one thing I'm certain of, and I know, is that you are not a failure. You might have failed, but you are not a failure. Things might have gone haywire, but that is not who you are. That is not who you are. So separate who you are. So let me say, my name is Oluwatomisin, right? Separate Oluwatomisin, myself. So I'm separating myself from the failure that has happened, because that is not who I am. So separate yourself. If you don't even remember anything from this conversation of failing forward, is the fact that I need you to separate yourself from that failure. If you don't separate yourself from that failure, you will not be able to move past that failure. So if you can't recall anything, remember the fact that I said that you should separate yourself, because it is in separating yourself that you actually stand up and do every other thing that you're supposed to do. So I hope this inspires you. I hope this makes you to stand up from that point of you not knowing what to do to the point of you not knowing what to do. Remember, it's fine if you have to take a rest, but remember to define who you are. Remember to learn. Remember to associate yourself with the right community and go out there and become everything that God wants you to become. You might have failed 10 times, right? But you still have the 11th time. The 11th time can actually turn out to be more better than what you can even imagine. And perhaps the 11th time, right, will not be the defining moments that will change everything, not just for you, but then to the generations that are attached to you. So I hope this inspires you. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. But then please do not forget to like, share, comment, and give your feedback. It will really, really go a long way. Remember, right, you are not a failure. My name is Oluwatomisin Mayowa-Emmanuel, and I'm the anchor of Oluwatomisin Speak podcast. And this podcast comes out twice a month, every second and fourth Sunday of the month. And this is for the month of May. As we close out the month of May, I hope this inspires you and you take the necessary step. Remember, it is in your taking step that you bet the result that you need for your life. Thank you so much, and see you